Today we're playing Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate Deluxe Edition. That's a mouthful. But this was actually a handheld game originally. It came out for the 3DS and the PlayStation Vita, which that would just be Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. The Deluxe Edition came out for Xbox 360 and the PlayStation 3. I almost said 1 because I'm so used to saying this is also on the Xbox One, but I'm not sure if it came out on the PC or not. So this one isn't as graphically spectacular. This came out at the same time as Batman Arkham Origins, and they wanted something for the people with the handhelds to play. It got mixed reviews, but I actually think it's a great 2D interpretation of the Batman games, and if you like those, I suggest to check this game out. My opinion, I think a lot of reviewers are jaded and don't give games a chance. That's my opinion. Some are on point, some are kind of, I don't know, they're like spoiled little kids. I just don't appreciate games sometimes, but that's just my opinions. Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one, unless you have some weird deformity, then I apologize. I'm not trying to not include you in this conversation. My mistake. I try to cover everybody as much as I possibly can. But yeah, let's get started. We're gonna do empty. Catwoman's actually in this game, which I'm very happy about because she was a really huge character in Batman Arkham City. And then when you play Arkham Origins, she's like nowhere to be found. She's actually in this one. And I just saw a trailer for Arkham Knight, and luckily she's in that too. So I'm glad they just didn't write off the character randomly, because I know in Arkham City, it goes back between her story and Batman's story. So I feel like she's an essential character after Arkham City, and it was weird not to see her in Origins, but she is in Blackgate. Alright. Sorry I have to do this. I wasn't sure if I was going to have to do this during the game or not. Now I know that I have to do it during the video. So I'm sorry about that, but it wasn't clear. I didn't know if I was going to have to restart my game from scratch. This game is very similar to the Castlevania handheld games, or Symphony of the Night, or the Metrovania games, are more or less Metroid. They call them Metrovania games because they're Castlevania games with a Metroid structure, so it should have been just easier just to say Metroid, but apparently I like to complicate things a little bit more than maybe the average person. Who knows? Yeah, let's get this going. Whatever makes this the deluxe edition, I don't know. I guess because you're playing it on the console and the graphics are supposed to be better, but I think on the PS Vita at least they probably look quite similar. I don't know about the 3DS version. Alright, back. But yeah, they had the fighting mechanics and everything. Yeah, it's not in 3D, but it was a handheld game, and they had the 2D gameplay down pat. And I always felt like it's more apparent, I guess, in the Arkham Asylum game because it's more linear. But even in the Arkham City and Arkham Origins, the console version, not this Blackgate version, that they were big 3D versions of like a Metroid type game where you can't go somewhere until you find a certain item, then you progress a little bit further until you get another item, and so on and so on. This is just a 2D version of that, and they captured the fighting style quite well, so I don't know what everybody's fucking bitching about. Whatever. Play on normal. Just in case you can't read, that says Wayne Tech. This has a comic book format for its cutscenes, if you haven't been able to tell already.
Gotham City is mine now. 3 months ago, I took down the deadliest villains it had to offer. But just because I'm here doesn't mean
So this is where the criminals were sent to. Besides, they had before they had Arkham Asylum, so they go to Blackgate.
For example.
But we're not even there yet. And it's nice to see Catwoman again.
Like taking candy from a baby. The baby being a secret government organization.
Always kind of like Catwoman because she's kind of like a good guy and bad guy at the same time, and she kind of complements Batman pretty well, so it's always fun to watch them interact. So I guess she's one of my favorite Batman characters.
Tell me you're not this place's overdressed security guard.
I just go where the crime is.
You sure you want to cut this so short? You haven't even heard me purr yet.
You won't be purring once you're in Blackgate.
Target acquired. Target has the package. DEO security squad Omega in response.
I'm handling
I will not, however, condone that shitty Catwoman movie. I won't even watch it all the way through. I don't know what the fuck that was. That was awful, so I'm not counting that Catwoman. But I love, like, the Batman Returns Michelle Pfeiffer portrayal of Catwoman. That's probably my favorite, and I really liked Arkham Origins portrayal of Catwoman. I know the 60s show is sacred, but I'm not a terribly huge fan of any of those portrayals of any of the characters in that film. I loved them as a kid, but when I got older, I couldn't get into it. Essentially, the fighting's exactly the same as the 3D version. You're just on one plane instead of being able to move around. It works quite the same. And then you get a cool little cinematic view. Also, like all the portrayals in animated series, of course you've heard me say that the Arkham series always to me felt like a mature version of the animated series, so
Handsome, strong,
it
and in
makes
touch with his
sense.
feelings. Every girl's dream.
So yeah, there's not as much exploration, so like I said, like it's kind of like more of a Arkham Asylum, even though Arkham Asylum had some open parts to it. It was somewhat more linear than Arkham City, where you actually had to travel a great lengths on Arkham Asylum, pretty much on an island. But as a handheld game, it holds up well, and as like a downloadable like Xbox Live Arcade game or PSN game, and it holds up quite well too. And there's no mistaking you're playing an Arkham Asylum game. Oh, I just gotta tap X again to enter. There's little quirks in the controls, like going in there, that I obviously forgot. Thank goodness we're playing the tutorial. But yeah, I think this is a good little downloadable title, and if you have the handheld, I think this would be a great handheld game to play, but it wasn't well received when it came out.
Heads up,
But I think they did a good job of capturing the spirit of the games in a 2D. In a 2D format, excuse me. ADD is a bitch. I'm like looking at the background and stuff like, oh, colors. Hold a crouch. Sometimes it's a little bit disorienting. I don't know, not maybe disorienting, but confusing about where you can go or where you can't. But like, there's little helpful things along the way that kind of tell you what you have to do or show you where you can go or shoot your battering. I don't know, or not your battering, your grappling hook. Or yeah, I can show you where you can shoot your battering as well, I guess.
Where have you been all my life?
No more games. Just give me what you stole and we can stop this now.
There's something you need to know about me, Batman. My game's only got one rule. Finders keepers. And when I play,
I don't think
play
this
for
game
keeps.
runs on the Unreal Engine 3. I could be completely wrong. But if it doesn't, they've done a great job of emulating the art style. I mean, it looks just like the Arkham games. It's like somebody was like filming it from like across like the street,
Stay
like
sharp
on
and keep
another
your eyes up.
building or so.
Burglar and that bat freak are using the rooftops.
Switch target. I think he's a good enough target. I don't really care who I fight.
Are you even trying?
If you notice in these Origin games, a lot of times you find yourself fighting cops because this is early during Batman's career where he's definitely considered more of a vigilante more than a hero. So people are unsure whether he's a good guy or a bad guy. You know, like later on it's like, thank you Batman, put up the bat signal so we can all be saved. But like early on in Batman's career, at least in this universe, maybe there's other universes. I never read the comics from the 40s, so I don't know how the comics started out, except from like synopsis of like the comic book where I read like he had a gun and stuff like that, but I've never actually read the original comics. So I don't know if he was well received by the public in those comic
that
books.
looked exhausting. Feel free to take a break if you need one.
But I know in like a lot of them, like the Nolan movies and to some extent the Tim Burton Batman, at least in the beginning of the film, they didn't know whether Batman was a good guy or a bad guy. And even if he was doing good, he was interfering, so he's like a vigilante. So you kind of have that going on in this game where even the cops will attack Batman because they don't know if he's good or bad. Can you go a little bit faster? Thank you.
That's right, sir. Dressed as a cat.
Glad these lines
Yes,
aren't
like Meow. You
electrically
think she's working with
charged.
Batman?
Ledge takedown.
These men are heavily armed. I need to make sure I'm not seen.
All right. Toggle
If I make it through
detective
tonight,
mode.
maybe I will take that desk job.
Give me 5 minutes with any of these freaks, and I'll have them begging for their mothers.
Take them down, you doofus. Now I gotta get out of here.
Moving in!
I'm probably fucked up.
I got no idea where he is.
All this 2D plane. There's not many places to look, but whatever.
He's still here. I can feel it.
Someone took this guy out. I need backup now. He's here somewhere. I want every sector searched.
You still out there? Huh?
Come on, come over here. I know it sucks for some of you Call of Duty people when you have to
Can't
play
enforce
these
the law
stealth
without the
games and
threat of
actually have to
force.
wait for
Even
something
better,
instead of blowing its
use
head off.
force.
Got him! I got him!
No, I don't even care. As in all the Arkham games, once you actually fight somebody, and defeat all the enemies, your health restores a little bit, usually depending on how well you did. Well, that was a cinematic drop. I'm glad this game helps you out a little bit, because sometimes I don't know where the hell to go because of the angle or whatever. I don't know what's interactive and what's not.
We ain't going down without a fight.
Glide kick.
You want a taste?
Even though it looks like they're on different planes, like Batman automatically like adjusts where he's standing to knock out all the enemies. And here we go. Hold L2 to battering a target. That could have killed him.
Now you're annoying me.
You're really gonna fight me? I just took down most of your little posse.
Come on.
They look like cops, but they might be penguins, man. I'm not sure. But you do fight cops, at least in Arkham Origins. I haven't finished this game yet. I need to. I feel like I'm pretty close to actually doing it, but I get sucked into other games so easy.
You could go all night, couldn't you?
That's what you'll learn about me. I never stop.
What if I offered you half of what they're paying me to let this all go?
Nice try.
2/3? Come on. There's gotta be worse people in this town you could be chasing.
I'll get to them. Right now I'm keeping my eyes in front of me.
Well, those
I
eyes
mean,
are
it's
gonna be
kind of
watching
hard
my
not
back
to keep
because
your
this is
eyes
where I
in
get
front
off.
of you. I mean, unless you have the ability to pull them out of your head and rotate them, which please make a
Bye-bye.
YouTube video of that if you're able to do such things. That would make me very happy. Alright, up we go. I would not know that I could climb on that unless it told me to, but it
Alright,
does, so
so
I
how
don't
do I
hold it
up-
against the game as long as it's
End here.
What kind of girl do you think I am?
as long as it's
Because
guiding me.
chances are, you're right.
Catwoman is ridiculously easy, but I'll probably fuck it up since I'm recording and trying to talk. And just beat the shit out of her when you can. I don't know if the other bosses in the game are this easy. You literally just stand there and wait and punch her.
Consider my fur officially ruffled.
Oops, I had to block it twice. I pushed it triangle twice. I must have been because I tapped it too fast.
What a lousy way to end a first date. I hoped you were a gentleman.
I was
Yeah,
being
that
gentle.
fight was kind of a joke, but it's the basically the training level. So what do you
Tell me
expect?
what was in the files, and I'll see about getting you sent somewhere less
It's not going to
dangerous
throw
than
you into
Blackgate.
lines. Then some games do. I mean, if you're playing like Dark Souls or something, but
Isn't my business. My business.
we're not playing Dark Souls. We're basically playing a game that's supposed to be accessible to anyone who plays video games and not necessarily the hardcore gamer.
Oh, he's good.
Alright, I'm gonna stop this video here. This is Batman Origins Blackgate. You can get this on the 3DS. This is deluxe edition. Deluxe editions are only the console editions, possibly PC. I don't know if this is available on the PC, but the deluxe editions are on the PS3, Xbox 360, and possible PC. And then the original Blackgate editions are on the Nintendo 3DS and the PlayStation Vita. For like a simplified version of the Arkham games, and if you're interested in the storyline, I would definitely recommend checking this out. It's really cool. It's on the 2D plane, so it's a little bit more linear. There's not as much extra content and stuff in the game after you beat it, etc., etc. Even though I haven't beat it, so I might be proven wrong, but since it's not an open world, there's not really a lot of places you can go to. But yeah, I think this is a great little side story in the series, and if you're a fan of Batman or the Arkham games, despite what a lot of people say, I think it's worth checking out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and basically, if you like this video, please click the thumbs up icon and feel free to leave a comment, positive or negative. If you choose to leave a negative comment, please make sure that the criticism is constructive and you're not being an asshole to either me or anyone else commenting on the channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll talk to you on the next video. Take care.